Hello everyone. On behalf of us at Licensed Insurance Advisors, I would like to welcome you and congratulate you on your new employment. My name is Anthony, and today I'm going to help you get acquainted with your new position. In this presentation, you will learn about the sales process, the technology we use, and valuable information about Medicare and Medicare supplements. This information we are sharing with you today will bring success and maximize your profits. To begin our lesson, Matt Edelstein will cover the basics of Medicare and Medicare supplements. As new hires, we encourage you to take notes and analyze what is being presented to you. Please have a pen and paper ready, write down any questions you have, and save them for the conclusion of this section of the video.
My name's Matt Edelstein. I'm a licensed insurance agent, been licensed for about 10 years now, and I'm also a Medicare specialist. I'm here to teach you the ins and outs of Medicare and Medicare supplements. What we're going to do first is we're going to learn about Medicare, the different parts of Medicare, and then we're going to transition over to Medicare supplements, and I'm going to teach you all the different Medicare supplements that we offer. First, we're going to start off with Original Medicare. Because in order to be a Medicare supplement expert and take your sales skills to the next level, you need to learn the basics. And right now we're going to learn Medicare A and Medicare B. We're going to start off with Medicare A. Medicare A is hospitalizations. So anything that has to do with the hospital is always going to be Medicare Part A. So Medicare Part A, again, is all about hospitals. So Medicare is only going to go ahead and give you coverage for 80% when you're in the hospital. So that means you're responsible for 20% of the bill. So we're just going to go ahead and write 80% slash 20%. Now, the tricky thing is that before Medicare pays 1 penny for your hospital stay, you are responsible for the first $1,364. That's a per quarter deductible. That means every quarter that you end up in the hospital, you are responsible for the first $1,364. Once the $1,364 per quarter deductible has been met, Medicare will then provide 80%, leaving with the client a 20% out of pocket. So if there's a $100,000 bill, Medicare would pay $80,000 and leave your client out of pocket of $20,000. So we're going to move on to Part B in just a few moments, but I want you guys to realize that anything that has to do with the hospital, room and board, ambulance, emergency rooms, nursing, anything that has to do with a hospital is all going to fall under Medicare Part A. Now we're going to go ahead and transition over to Medicare Part B. And Medicare Part B is pretty much coverage for everything else except for prescriptions and dental. Okay? So Medicare Part B is going to go ahead and give you coverage for everything else, like doctor visits, surgeries, blood work, blood tests, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, routine visits to the doctor. Anything else other than staying in the hospital, besides prescriptions and dental, is all taken care of under Medicare Part B. Now, just like Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B also has that 80-20 coverage. That means that Medicare is only going to pay 80% of your client's bill, leaving them with an out-of-pocket of 20%. Medicare Part B also has a once-a-year deductible, and that's an annual deductible. It's only one time. It's not like Part A where it's quarterly. It's a once-a-year annual deductible, and it's $185. Once that $185 has been met, that 80% has then been activated, giving your clients 80% coverage, but again, leaving them with an out-of-pocket of 20%. And that pretty much wraps everything up with the basics of Original Medicare, Parts A and Part B. Now we're going to go ahead and transition over to Medicare Supplements, where you can show your clients how to save them as much money as possible, so they don't have to worry about that 20%. So now we're going to learn about Medicare Supplements. Now, a Medicare Supplement is a plan designed by a private insurance carrier to help with the out-of-pocket costs associated with Medicare. Okay, so Medicare Supplements have some important key facts that I want to point out before going over the different plans. The first thing is that all Medicare Supplements are federally standardized. And what that means is every plan is the exact same, no matter what. No matter the pricing, no matter the name of the carrier, no matter what, every Medicare Supplement plan is the exact same. The only difference is they're categorized by different letters. For example, there's Plan F, there's Plan G, there's Plan N, and there's also HDF, which we'll get into in just a few moments. Another key feature with the Medicare Supplement is that they're only for individuals. There's no family coverage whatsoever. So a Medicare Supplement can only cover one person at a time. There's also no prescription coverage included in a Medicare Supplement. And lastly, a Medicare Supplement plan is guaranteed renewable. That means as long as your clients are making their monthly premiums on time, they never will get canceled. So there's a ton of Medicare Supplement plans out there on the Medicare market, but the most beneficial plans for your clients are going to be the 4 essential plans when it comes to Medicare Supplements. That's Plan F, Plan G, Plan N, and the HDF. And we're going to learn about those all right now. And we're going to start off with Plan F. Plan F is the absolute most easiest plan to understand. Why? It's because this plan covers you 100%, no matter what. So we're going to get into detail right now. So again, Plan F is going to go ahead and give your clients 100% coverage. So that 20% that Medicare leaves them with, Plan F will cover them 100%. That $1,364 per occurrence deductible on Part A, Plan F covers that 100%. And the $185 deductible on Part B, Plan F covers that 100%. And Plan F also covers the 20% on Part B as well, leaving your clients with zero out-of-pocket whatsoever. So if your client went to the hospital and had a $1 million procedure, Plan F will cover them 100%, leaving them with zero out-of-pocket. We're going to move on to Plan G. Plan G is just like Plan F. It covers 100%. The difference is Plan G does not pay the Part B deductible of $185. Minus $185. So some individuals might think, hey, you know what? I might be better off with Plan F. I'd rather not have to worry about a deductible or anything and just make my monthly premium. But when it comes to the numbers and you really crunch them down, Plan G makes more sense. Because yes, I know that there's a deductible of $185, but Plan F is traditionally anywhere between $30 to $50 more per month. That can leave your client paying anywhere between $300 to $500 a year just to save $185. And that's why 99.9% of our clients all have Plan G. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Plan N. Now, Plan N is another great plan. It's actually one of my favorite plans because it has the lowest rate increases. But I would only offer Plan N to an individual that cannot afford the Plan G. The Plan N is anywhere between $20 and $30 less expensive than the Plan G. And it has a couple kickers, and we're going to go over that right now. Now, Plan N is a little bit more affordable than the Plan G. And the reason why is because with Plan N, you're responsible for copays when you go to the doctor, when you go to the emergency room. With Plan N, you're responsible for a $20 copay when you go to the doctor and a $50 copay when you go to the emergency room. Also, with Plan N, it does not cover the Part B excess charges. But again, it's still an amazing plan, and it's very simple to understand, and it makes a lot of sense, especially for a client that cannot afford the Plan G. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the most affordable Medicare supplement option that's going to be available for you to offer to your clients. Now, this is actually one of my favorite options because this plan is actually really, really good and it's super affordable. So we're going to move on to this plan, and it's HDF, and it stands for High Deductible F. It's very simple to understand. It's Plan F, but with a high deductible, okay? So a lot of agents don't really understand the HDF plan, and they don't like to offer it to their clients. That's when people like me come around the corner and give it to them, because you know why? It's a really good plan, and it's super affordable, and it makes a ton of sense. So the first thing about HDF is that it's 100% coverage. Another thing about HDF is that there's a deductible, and it's a yearly deductible, and it's $2,340. But here's the cool thing, a lot of people don't know, is that you're only responsible for 20% of the bill until your client reaches $2,340. So for example, if your client ends up in the emergency room and let's say the bill's $1,000, Medicare is still going to pay that 80% coverage, which is $800. And then your client will then be responsible for 20%, which is just $200, and that $200 will be applied towards the deductible. As you chip away at it and chip away, and as soon as that deductible hits zero, your client will then be covered 100% no matter what. And the good thing about the HDF plan is that it ranges anywhere between $30 and $50 a month. So if affordability is the most important thing to your client and they can't afford the Plan G, they cannot afford the Plan N, give them the HDF because it's still a really good plan and it provides a ton of coverage. Now you learned all the ins and outs of Medicare, and you also learned the different Medicare supplement options. I hope this training helps you in your Medicare career. My name is Matt Edelstein, and have a good day.
The more you know about the product you are offering, the more confidence you will have. Matt's extensive knowledge of Medicare is one of the key factors he attributes in his ability to reach new clients. In this next segment, Jerry Billow will be sharing information on Medicare Part D, prescription coverage.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Hill-Billow, and today we are going to be talking about prescription drug coverage. It is a very important product to talk about because it's one that completes the Medicare process in that they have Medicare supplement, they have their prescription drug coverage to complete their A and B on Medicare. Prescription drug coverage is a standalone Part D, D as in drug, coverage that's necessary for people to have their prescriptions covered. There is a penalty for those individuals who decide that they don't want prescription drug coverage. The penalty is 1% for every month that they could have had coverage and chose not to. And it will be based upon a $35 a month policy fee, and that is an average policy fee. So the way that would look is that if an individual did not take their Part D coverage and later on they decided they wanted to, it would be 1% of $35. So it would be a 35-cent fee for every month, and there would be a 12-month period, so it would be $4.20. Every month more than their standardized fee that they would have for their prescription drug coverage that they chose. So it's very important that they take their coverage when they turn 65 to avoid these excess charges that are going to amount into a lot of money. The prescription drug coverage on average will range in price from around $20 to as high as $80, but most policies will cost around $25 a month, and that will cover them for their plan. In addition to that, they will have small copays for their prescription drugs. They can choose to have a 90-day supply, which oftentimes allows them to have, it will be a less expensive cost to them because they will be getting a 90-day supply. And oftentimes they get a reduced rate for that 90-day supply. One of the things that is very important to know about prescription drug coverage is that there is a donut hole. And the donut hole, and I'm going to be reading it just so that I can get it correct for you. It works like this. They have three parts to your Medicare. They have your initial coverage, your coverage gap, which is called the donut hole, and then you have your catastrophic coverage, which is after the donut hole. So beginning with the initial coverage is when your coverage starts, providing there's no deductible. If there is a deductible, then of course you have to meet that deductible first before you have your first dollar of coverage, just like any deductible works. Then once you meet the amount of $3,820 of shared cost, that means that the amount that you paid for your drugs and the amount that the insurance company paid together collectively amount to $3,820, you've entered into what they call the donut hole. And the donut hole is when your medications will typically cost you more than they were during your initial coverage. So for your generic drugs, you will now be spending 37% of the cost of that medication. And on your brand name drugs, you will be spending 25% of the cost of that medication until you have reached a maximum out of your pocket of $5,100. That is the combined amount of the original donut hole amount of $3,820. And then once that amount totals $5,100, you are now into the catastrophic coverage, which is better known as after the donut hole. Once you've entered into that catastrophic coverage, you will pay 5% coinsurance or $3.40 copay for generic drugs. Whichever is greater will be your responsibility. So to recap, some of the most important things that you need to know about prescription drug coverage, which is referred to as Part D. We initiate a phone call to our customers 90 days before they turn 65, which is 3 months. And we will discuss their prescription drug coverage with them at that time. We will go over their initial coverage, which is when their coverage begins. We will go over their coverage gap and how the donut hole will affect them, as well as the catastrophic coverage, which is after the donut hole. We will also inform them about any fees or penalties that will apply to them as they make their decisions about the prescription drug coverage. In 2020, the federal government has already announced that we will have some changes to the Part D prescription drug coverage and the donut hole. There will be more information that will be released to us, and we will bring that information to you just as soon as we have it. Thank you so much.
The most important thing to remember by far is to stick to the script. A script will be provided to you, and it is a requirement to read from it on every call. You'll recognize in your time with us that the successful agents in this office will keep it simple and stick to the script. Realistically, you will come across obstacles in your pursuit of the next client. In these situations, your first course of action is to look to your rebuttals. In addition to your script, you will also be provided a list of common rebuttals. The rebuttals list is a list of responses to common objections you will experience when talking with prospective clients. To help familiarize us with some of the common rebuttals and techniques, Jerry Billow will once again join us to discuss this topic.
Hi, my name is Jerry Billow, and today we are going to be talking about rebuttals and how they affect your sales. So during the training process, you will be given a list of very helpful rebuttals that you can be using during your sales presentation, as customers come up with many reasons why they don't want to purchase or move forward with their coverage. You can speak with them about very important details, and we refer to those as rebuttals. So some of the rebuttals that you will experience people sharing with you are, I don't want to make a decision today. There's a rebuttal for that. I want to speak with my spouse, my husband or my wife. We have an excellent rebuttal for that as well. I don't want to make any decisions today. So those are just a few of the rebuttals that you will experience usually on a daily basis, but with proper training, as we are going to be giving with you, as well as rebuttal training, you will be armed with an arsenal of wonderful rebuttals that you can use with your clients and ultimately make sales.
If exercising your rebuttals to the best of your ability is not enough to persuade your prospective client, it is time to get a manager to take over the call for you. We call this a TO. Do not hesitate to get a TO when things get tough. A good agent will not let their pride get in the way of success. Oftentimes, getting another voice on the phone is all it takes to put a client's mind at ease. Now that Jerry has shared with us some of the common objections that prospects give on phone calls, let's hear Matt give a TO for one of his agents. Listen closely to Matt as he establishes rapport, exercises rebuttals, establishes credibility, and ultimately gains the client's trust.
Hey, Mr. Bill.
Yeah,
How you doing? My name's Matt. I'm the in-house manager. How's everything going today?
it's fine.
Wonderful. The reason why I came on the phone today is my agent, Matt, pulled me aside. He told me he found a plan for you. Looks like it's the most affordable, A-plus rated, 100% coverage in your area. Looks like it's Mutual of Omaha for $117 a month. Is that right?
That's what he said.
Yes, sir. He says you like the coverage and you can afford the plan. He says that you just have a couple quick questions and concerns before making your final decision.
Well, I just want to make sure you guys are a legitimate business and not some scam artist. I've had people try to scam me
Absolutely.
before.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I got scammed before, too. How did you get scammed?
Oh, some lady was trying to sell a Jeep, and she said it was in Wyoming, so I said, I'll just drive over and look at it. And, oh, now all of a sudden it's in North Carolina.
Oh, my God. Oh, the same thing happened to me.
Said, I'll go there. Well, I got to run it through, what was it, eBay. I said, okay. So they sent me a thing saying it was from eBay, and number and everything, just like you would on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a phone number to call, and they said they want gift cards.
Oh,
Think
wow,
about that for a
that's
minute.
shady. Yeah.
So I called eBay on the internet number. That number didn't exist.
Oh, wow. What kind of Jeep are you looking at?
I was a CJ5. I just wanted an extra vehicle around here so my son could borrow one once in a while because he travels for the railroad, so he leaves his vehicles out of state a lot of times. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're big Jeepers in my family. We have a CJ8 and with like a 2.5-inch lift. Yeah, CJ8. It's the with the bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one with the bed. And then we have the I got 2 JKs. My dad and my mom have JKs, and then they just got the new Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Have you seen the Gladiator? The Jeep Gladiator?
I've seen a picture of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's the new the JL build, so it's the new Jeep Wrangler, but it has a pickup bed in the back.
Wow. I don't know if that's what, oh, I seen one of them today.
Yeah,
The Rubicon one. But
yeah, Rubicon. Yeah, super cool, man. Yeah, but back to this, we're the Medicare Supplement Enrollment Center. This is completely legitimate. I'm actually going to be your case manager, so we'll be walking through the policy together, and we're going to do a state verification where you're actually going to have to say your name, city, and state, and today's date, and then I'll actually have a policy number for you, and then you'll receive all the hard copies in the mail in just a couple of business days.
Okay, but I have to give you guys information that I don't like giving out right away.
Yeah, and well, if you have a computer, you can actually go online to the website, and I can give you an authorization number. If that makes you feel more comfortable, you could put all of your info on there. But I'm a licensed insurance agent in the state of Utah, and this call is recorded and monitored for your protection. I can assure you, we're only here to help you. We're not here to harm you in any way, Mr. Bill.
Okay.
All right. So I just want to make sure that we're mailing it to the right address. I have 245 West, and the premium, it's $117.68. The first payment comes out in about 24 to 48 hours from Mutual of Omaha, and what that'll do is cover your first month for December, so you don't have to actually pay again until January, and then you can be billed
I don't
on
need
either.
it in December. My
What do you
insurance
mean?
is good to the end of the month, or end of December. I'm covered
Okay.
for the entire month of December.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, okay. So then it'll cover the month of January, and then your next payment won't be due until February.
That's fine.
All right. And then you can either use a checking or savings. What is easier for you, sir?
Probably my check. Wonder if I could. Probably just my checking account, I suppose.
Okay, checking. All right. And then what is the name of your bank?
By now we know what a good phone call is made of, and more importantly, what makes a successful agent. A good agent follows the script, qualifies their prospect, utilizes rebuttals, builds rapport, and gains their trust. Now that we have an understanding of how to handle our phone calls, we will now discuss the applications we use in our enrollment process. Before your client can agree to anything, you'll need to pull up a quote for them. Our own Alan Posner will demonstrate this process next.
Hi, I'm Alan Posner. I'm one of the sales managers here at Licensed Medicare Advisors, and we're going to go over some training on how to pull up a quote for a Medicare supplement. Very, very simple. We start on our homepage. As you can see, it's licensedmedicareadvisors.com, and go over to the top of the page where it says More, and make sure that you click on Advisors Portal. Now, the password to get into the Advisors Portal is LIA123. And once you do that, you're going to see another screen open up. It's going to say X5 in the top left corner. And it's going to say CSG Actuarial in the middle of the page. It's the largest letters. Click on that. That is your quoting tool. That's going to open up. Then click on the button that says Run Quote. Now you've got a box that says Run a Quote, and it's asking for some information. It's the zip code that you need to put in, And the information that you need to make sure stays correct is a couple of things. You got to make sure that you've got the correct zip code. You've got to make sure that your gender is correct. And you got to make sure that you're running Plan G. G like girl. All right. If you make a mistake and run another plan like an F, you're going to be quoting your client a premium that's going to be $30 to $50 a month higher, and you're not going to make the sale. So I'm going to use a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania zip code, and I'm going to put in 19103. And you can see the client is turning 65. Even though they're not 65 yet, make sure that you have it say 65. If you make them their current age, which is 64, it's going to be a whole different quote. So we're quoting for when they turn 65. All right. Ask the customer if they're smokers or non-smokers, and go over to the right side. We're going to be quoting on a male, so we want to make sure that it's a male, and we're going to make sure that this Plan F is corrected to Plan G. So very, very simple. I'm going to click on Get Quote, and as you can see, the quotes have come up. Now, we've got a couple of different plans here, and if we look at the Mutual of Omaha, you see that it is a 12% household discount. Household discounts are applied with Mutual of Omaha. If it's 12%, they need to either be married to somebody over the age of 40 or living with somebody over 60. The living together does not need to be a spouse. It could be their brother. It could be their parent. It could be a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Obviously, if we're dealing with people that are 64 years old, their kids are not going to be, if they say their kids live with them, you don't need to ask them if their kids are over 60. Okay? So you see here that we're going to use Mutual of Omaha as the plan that we're going to sell. Now, this individual is married, so I'm going to click on Apply Discounts. As you can see, it brought the premium for the Mutual of Omaha down to $159. So we're going to use this as our base point and then find two plans that are more costly than this. We're not going to give them quotes of plans that are less pricey than this one because we're not selling it. So I'm not going to tell them that Cigna is $147 and Mutual of Omaha is $159. I'm going to say, I've got several plans in your area. I'm looking at Gerber Life. As you can see, Gerber Life is $275 a month. It's an A-rated carrier, and it's a great company. But write this down, Mr. Customer. It's $275.12 a month. Then I'm going to say, and I've got Cigna, also a great company, $181.27. But the lowest price plan in your area, Mr. Customer, is coming in at Mutual of Omaha. As you can see, it's an A-plus rated carrier. They've been serving your market for well over 50 years. It's tracking at an annual rate increase of under 2% a year. So it's going to be affordable to purchase and affordable to maintain. And it's just $159.68. Now, because these plans are all the same, federally standardized, meaning they offer the exact same benefits and there are no network restrictions, I'm going to recommend Mutual of Omaha because it has the lowest price. And you're going to say it to the customer just like that. You're not going to pause. You're not going to think about it. You're going to say it just like that because you've been here a million times before. Okay? The process is simple. Because the plans are the same, I'm going to recommend Mutual of Omaha. And once we submit your application to Mutual of Omaha today, you're going to get a couple of things.
Now that your client has expressed that the cost of the plan is affordable to them and they are ready to sign up, it's time to submit their application. Alan will explain this process in our next segment.
Once again, I'm Alan Posner, one of the sales managers, and the next step of the process here is congratulations. You've got a client that's amenable and is looking to take advantage of the great products that we're selling. So as you're going through your trial closes with the client, and you're saying, is there going to be a middle initial on your application? As you're reading the script, okay, if they start as they start providing this information to you, what I want you to do is start putting this into our in-house e-app. Where you're going to find that is by hovering your mouse over the word more, and then it's LIA e-app. Click on that. And the passcode to get into that should auto-populate. So you click on the link, it opens up LIA MedSup e-app, and then up top here, you see where it's in blue, it says beta. I want you to click on that. That is the in-house e-app. That's what we do. So the agent of record, for the most part, is either going to be Sheena or Jason McDowell, and you'll put that information in there, okay? And the agent name is you, so put your name in there, and that way we can pay you. And then you're going to go ahead and put the client's personal information in there, right? This is information that you're going to get from them as you speak to them. What's the email address, Mr. Client, that you want Mutual of Omaha to send your verification to today? Right? All right, so you put that email address in there. And then move on. Birth date, height and weight. Get it if you can. Most companies do not require that during open enrollment. There are some that do. Get the social, right? Put that in there. And then, of course, if you're getting the discount, you got their sex, whether they're a smoker or not smoker. If they're getting a discount, family discount, 12% for people that are married over 40, living together over 60, that information goes in here. 7% for those that are, for the states where both the husband and wife have to be on the plan at the same time, that goes in here as well. Plan information, I need to know what the company is that they had their insurance. Now, if they're on Medicare disability, it is imperative the deal will not go through if I don't have the correct information. If they're on Medicare disability and they have an Advantage plan, I need to know that information or the application can't get submitted. We have to select what the choices are. 95% of our applications are going to be open enrollment, people that are turning 65. The carrier is going to be Mutual of Omaha. It's Plan G. You'll put in their Medicare number. If we don't have the Medicare number, we're going to utilize the Social Security number with the letter A. Part A effective, Part B effective. Are we including a dental plan? Right? Move forward. And then now we're up to the billing. Zero enrollment fee. How much is the monthly premium? In this case, I'm just putting $100.38. Is it a post date or a fresh date? So if it's a fresh date, we're going to put today's date in there. If it's a post date, you're going to put the date in the future that you want the insurance company to take the money out. Effective date, January 1st, tomorrow. When is it? Name of the bank, routing account, and then any special messages that you want to move forward to the underwriters. If it's a post date, I need to know that. Don't accept the fact that you put process date up here, and that's going to be okay. They're very, very busy at the front desk. We want to make this as easy for them as possible. So we will write, please do not draft payment until, and then whatever that date is. Then you're going to hit submit. That's going to go to the front of the office where they're going to start submitting the application. At that point, you're going to keep the client engaged, keep chatting with them while we submit the application to Mutual of Omaha or the carrier on your behalf. We're then going to come back to you in about 5 minutes with a code. All right. Once we have the code, we're going to do a 3-way call off of the dialer, and we're going to do just a brief verification. What you're going to tell the client is that Mutual of Omaha, you're going to hear the recording. It's going to say, thanks for calling Mutual of Omaha's voice verification department. Tell your client that the recording is going to ask them to put in their birthday and a bunch of codes. Explain to them that the insurance company is talking to you and not to the client. I want you to put in their birth date you're going to put in the code, and then you're going to say to the client towards the end of the conversation, the recording is going to say, if you do not want to submit the application, press 9. And then I always make a little chuckle and I go, don't do that. And then it's going to say, if you're ready to go ahead and sign the e-app, at the tone, name, city and state, today's date. Have them do that. And then you're going to hit the pound sign every time they complete that. And that's it. Once they do that and you hit pound, that application has been signed. There's nothing else for you to do. Client's going to get an email within a few minutes, in most cases directly from Mutual of Omaha. If not, if they don't have email, we'll have the code. Sometimes while you're still on the phone with them, sometimes you got to call them back. But that is how we submit an in-house e-application once you've made a sale. All right? Good luck.
The e-app instructions that Alan has presented will apply to all deals written under the house. For those agents who will be writing their deals under their own name, they will be required to submit the deals themselves, rather than by way of our verification department. Alan will show us how to do this next.
All right. So, and for those of you agents that are appointed directly, and that's something that will happen after time with the company, where you'll be given direct contracts and you'll be earning your future by getting residual income. So for those of us that are writing directly under our own account, you got your client that's agreed to the application. So there's two things I want you to do. I want you to do an in-house e-application as you did before. This same one that we did before, but up top at the agent of record, I want you to put your own name, okay? And also at the very, very bottom, I just want you to write written under me. And that way we know that it's not going to be submitted under the house, because there are going to still be times when, even though you're appointed directly, we're going to be writing deals under the house. I do it all the time. So the administration needs to know if I'm submitting a deal under me or under the McDowells. All right, so I want it up top. I also want it on the bottom. So then you're back to the home page. You're going to click on Mutual of Omaha, and it's going to take you to a login page. You put in your logins and your password and sign in. Okay. And then you're going to fill out an application on your own, right? Start a new quote or application. You're going to put the client's name, right? Did you want a middle initial on your insurance card, Mr. Client? You're going to put the phone number in, email address, birth date, zip code, all that information. You're going to get the quote, and then you're going to move forward. You're going to get this screen, okay? There's a couple of things that you have here that I want you to notice. Number one, you got your authorization number. Number two, you have the hyperlink that says signyourmedsupapp.com. Third is a phone number which we can provide to you. So now you're my client, I've enrolled you. The way you're going to sign the application is a couple of different, is one of a couple of ways. The client themselves can click on this hyperlink, put in this authorization number and their birth date, and sign the application on their own. That's one way. The other way is we do a three-way call with Mutual of Omaha. There's a voice verification, a dedicated voice verification number. And that's the same process as what I said on the other video, where you're going to tell the client that all the buttons that they're asking you to push, they're speaking to you. Again, they're going to push nothing until the very end, where it says at the tone, if you're ready to move forward and submit the application for your Medicare supplement, at the tone, state your name, today's date, and city and state. That is the other way to do it. But it's very, very simple. And remember, guys, I know there's a lot of information here. Utilize the management team here. We're pretty good at this, and we want to help you. So the easiest way after you've taken all these training courses, when you're on the floor, come to us. It'll make a lot more sense when you see us help you do it after you've seen these videos. All right? Good luck out there, guys.
Now we're going to shift our focus and discuss the system that you'll be taking your calls with. I'm going to be sharing some links and other information, so please be ready to write these down when necessary. If you've been in this field for some time, you are probably familiar with the Vici dial system. If not, then I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to walk right through it. Plus, if you have used it before, there are some things that maybe we do differently than the company that you worked for previously. So please pay attention and be ready to write things down. Now, when you get to your computer after your training and you're ready to log in, there should be, in the bookmarks toolbar, a link to this website. But just for safety, I want you to write this down. https://licensedinsure.vicihost.com. It's very important to have the HTTPS in front of the hyperlink. So please don't forget that. So once you're here, you'll go to Agent Login and you'll type your 4-digit phone login that'll be provided to you and your phone password. Once you hit submit, you'll have to type these in again. And once you do that, you'll have a drop down where it says campaign, and you should only have one option, and that should be Medicare.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
So you've just heard the "you're the only person in this conference" message. If you don't hear that, then you should back out and try again. If you're unable to get this message when you log in, you need to get your manager's attention and we'll come and take a look at it. So once you've successfully logged in and you see this screen, in the top left corner it'll say "you are paused" in yellow. In order to go available and start taking calls, all you have to do is click this button. And now it should say "you are active." So no matter what, after the call has concluded, you'll click on Hang Up Customer on the left-hand side. And that'll bring you to the disposition screen. So please pay very close attention to which one of these dispositions you choose on any given phone call. Be as accurate as possible. So the first time you find yourself on this screen, take a couple of seconds and familiarize yourself with where some of these dispositions are. Now, of course, the most important one would be sale. If your phone call happened to be a sale, you would simply click this disposition and click submit. In this case, I'm going to click no answer for testing purposes and click submit. Before I click submit, I'm going to click pause agent dialing. Say it's 12:59, you're getting ready to go to lunch. You would click pause agent dialing and click submit. That way, you don't go right back into the queue and start taking more calls. So after you've clicked pause agent dialing and clicked submit, you'll select the reason for your pause. In this case, it'll be break. If at any point during your phone call you need to put the customer on hold, you'll click park call. Once you hear that noise, you'll know that your call is parked. At this time, on the other end of the phone, the customer is listening to hold music. When you're ready to go back to your phone call, just click on grab parked call, and once you hear that noise, you're now back with your customer. If you need to call somebody directly, you can click manual dial on the bottom of the screen. Where you see phone number, that's where you'll type the phone number. Now, eventually, you'll need to transfer a call or engage a three-way call. In this situation, you'll go to the left-hand side of the screen and click Transfer-Conf. A box should have popped up at the bottom of the screen. Now it looks like there's a lot of options here, and there are, but we're only going to pay attention to a couple of them. If you want to transfer directly to another agent, make sure that Agent Direct is in this box here, and you'll type in the agent's 4-digit number. If you don't know that agent's number, you can come over here where it says Agent's View, and that'll bring up this screen. And this will list all the available agents that you can transfer to. So in this case, if I wanted to transfer to Robert Roman, I would type 1007. I would check Consultative and click on Dial with Customer. Once I hear that Robert's picked up that call, I would click Leave Three-Way Call. Now you'll also find it necessary to engage a three-way call with an outside line, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Just simply type the number in Number to Call and click Dial with Customer. Once the three-way call is concluded and you want to go back to just you and your client speaking, you can click on Hang Up Transfer Line. If at any point during this phone call the call is completely over with, you can click on Hang Up Both Lines. And you'll be brought back to the disposition screen. Also on this screen, you have a call log that you can view. Down here it says View Call Log. And if you click that, you can look at all of your call history for the day. This is helpful if you want to call back somebody that you talked to earlier and you forgot to set a call back. Now, in the event that you do get somebody that you want to set a call back, I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's put ourselves in that scenario. Mr. Jones here tells me that he's not available until after 4:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him, okay, Mr. Jones, I'm going to give you a call back around 4:30. What I'll do is I'll hang up, and as my disposition, I'm going to select callback. Now once I do this, it'll bring me to a callback screen. And on this screen, I can choose the day and the hour that I would like the system to remind me of this callback. So in this situation, I would click on today, which is Thursday the 11th, and I would type 4:30 p.m. If you want to leave any type of text that'll remind you of who this customer is, something that he said, any information that you gathered on the call, you can type it right here in the callback comments, and that information will be for you only. Now, when you do have a callback that's ready to be called, you'll see this annoying blinking red light down here that says one active callback. So right here we can see this is the callback that we set, and it is active. When you're ready to call this person back, all you need to do is go to this callback screen and click on Dial. And once you do that, their information will pop up here, but they're not being called yet. To dial the lead, just click on Dial Lead on the top. So that pretty much wraps up our training video. We hope you value this information that we've shared with you today and put it to good use in your pursuit of success. We are confident that with these tools and the assistance of your team, you can achieve that success. Thank you very much for your attention and have a great day.